Hi, you guys. If you want to learn how to make my easy and delicious blueberry biscuits, stay tuned. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is measure out 2 cups of self-rising flour. I know for me personally, whether I'm making a sweet biscuit or a savory biscuit, I always tend to grab my self-rising flour because it just takes the guesswork out of the baking process for me. Baking can sometimes be a little bit intimidating, especially when having to be a little bit more precise with your measurements, and I tend to not measure when I cook. So using the self-rising flour is easier because it already has your salt and your baking powder mixed up in there. You don't even have to worry about it. I also added in 4 tablespoons of sugar, and then I took a whisk, making sure that the flour and the sugar are well combined. Next, I have some frozen butter here, and I'm going to go ahead and use my cheese grater and grate that butter just like so. Now for this next step, you can use a pastry cutter or you can even use a fork, but I like to use my hands so I can feel that butter all throughout the flour. So as you can see, I'm using a pinching motion to kind of break that butter up all throughout that flour, just like so. And you want to work fairly quickly because you don't want the warmth of your hands to start melting the butter. All right, so next we're going to start pouring in our milk. You can use buttermilk if you have it on hand, but I'm just using some whole milk. I used about a cup of milk. However, you might not need that much, maybe about 3/4 of a cup. However, you don't want to just dump your milk all in at once. You want to just kind of pour in a little bit at a time, give it a slight little mix, pour in some more, give it a slight little mix until you get the desired consistency. Now, I like for my biscuit dough to be a little bit on the wet side, particularly when I'm using blueberries. If the dough is too dry when you're adding your fruit, it's just going to be a little bit harder to fold in your blueberries without kind of smashing them up, all right? So we're just going to gently fold in our blueberries into our dough, just like so. Next, we're going to go ahead and flour our surface, just like so. Especially because our dough is a little wet and sticky, so we definitely need this surface to be nicely floured. We're going to go ahead and dump our dough onto the counter. And with a gentle hand, we're going to go ahead and lightly start folding our dough. We don't want to overdo it because we don't want a tough biscuit. So we're just going to take our hand, put it in some flour, and we're going to just lightly start folding our dough. Now, when we are done creating our layers, we're going to go ahead and press out our dough just like so. We're going to go ahead and roll our cookie cutter in some flour and start making our biscuits. Oh, and remember, don't twist, go straight down and right back up. I made sure to use every last bit of my dough, and I was able to get 11 and a half biscuits from this dough because I was not about to waste it at all. Yes, I'm making my little biscuit there and putting that on the end. I like to assemble my biscuits touching each other. You can space yours out if you like to have a crispy perimeter all over your biscuit. However, I like for my biscuits to kind of be on the softer side. Oven was preheated at 425 and I baked them for approximately 12 to 14 minutes. You definitely want to make sure that you keep an eye on them and pull them when necessary. All right. And as soon as they come out of the oven, I am brushing them with some melted butter, just like so. And while they are cooling down just a tad, I'm going to go ahead and make my super simple and easy glaze. You guys have seen me make this glaze on my channel before when I made a pound cake, and if you have not seen that, I will link that in the description below for you guys. But I'm just going to go ahead and add in my confectioner sugar with a little bit of milk and a splash of vanilla extract, and that is it. If you want a little pop of lemon in there, definitely add in a little bit of lemon juice or a little bit of lemon zest. But that is it, you guys. Super quick and super easy. So now that our glaze is done, we're going to go ahead and put them over our biscuits. And yes, you see one is missing. That was my tester biscuit. I needed to make sure that my glaze and my biscuits paired really well together, and they did. So I'm just going to go ahead and drizzle that glaze all over the biscuits, just like so. And that is it, you guys. My super easy and delicious blueberry biscuits, y'all. These were so good, y'all. I have come a long way with biscuit making because my biscuits used to be trash. Okay, they used to come out like hockey pucks. My family would be like, "Ooh, you know, it needs a little bit of work." Choking and whatnot. But these, oh my gosh, look at light and fluffy and flavorful. You get those sweet pops of blueberry in the middle of your biscuit. The texture was beautiful and the glaze just brought everything together. These were absolutely delicious. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section, and even share it with a friend. I thank you guys so much for clicking and watching. I love y'all, and I will see y'all on the next one. Until then, bye.